One of the things I love most about this movie is you are on a journey and you have no idea where you're going.
I find the book to be one of the funniest books I've read. And I've read it a few times, and yeah, it's really funny and really heartfelt, I think, at the same time.
It's so authentically written from that perspective, that very specific teenage perspective.
The book is very unusual, very, very quirky. It's got a wonderful point of view. I mean, he's captured that teen angst, to use an overused term, in such a funny, offbeat way. And the movie script has really captured that.
I think they did a great job of sort of streamlining the book, but really keeping true to the spirit of the book.
Yeah, do you think maybe I could cuddle next to you? Or we could do more than just cuddle.
It took 13 years for the book to make it onto the screen, so sometimes I thought, well, the actor who's going to play Nick hasn't been born yet, so... But when Michael Cera came along, I did think, you know, there would be a perfect Nick.
I knew that Michael was the one, had to be the one. And there was never a period of time where we were talking about other actors. It was like well understood that we needed to get Michael involved, and he jumped at the chance and has taken the reins, and, you know, he co-wrote it, and he was really involved in casting and every aspect of it. This is Michael's project.
He's got great physical presence and great timing.
He's got great ideas. He's really smart. He's sensitive.
He's just really subtle, and it's nice to see a young actor not play it so over the top. I think that's what's charming about him.
Only actor I've worked with who never has a moment of self-doubt. If I ever gave him a note, he always responded with a smile and say, "Really? Watch this."
I'm here to rescue you from yourself. Okay, can I make one request? Can we keep it to the absolute minimum amount of destruction possible? Absolute minimum, that's good.
But I always see behind his smile and his intelligent eyes, there is a naughtiness waiting to come out. And in this movie, he gets to physically become another person who's extremely naughty.
I thought there were laws in the city against illicit cohabitation. Or are they just another big policeman's joke?
Kid, you're asking for trouble. Just don't. Just don't.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Shoot me with your gun? Nick Twisp is this 14-year-old kid in the book who basically doesn't fit in with his family. He doesn't relate to either of his parents or any kids around him, really.
He happens to be super smart and well-read and feels like he's been born into an alien world. And he finds a girl that has the same vision of the world. Her parents are crazy religious fanatics, and she's also super well-read and loves foreign movies. And, you know, they both feel like they were born to aliens.
Nick, you're very nice, but I should tell you I have a boyfriend.
Oh, I see. It was hard to find someone that really felt like that, you know. It was hard to find someone that didn't feel sort of just like an actress.
This is Sheenie Saunders. She just stopped by to introduce herself. Isn't that neighborly?
There's an innocence and purity with an old soul, and it's a fascinating combination. I think it's really nice for the character of Sheenie as well, because she could be a little too manipulative and conniving as a character otherwise, and I think the kind of purity that is the essence of Portia is a really nice balance for that.
I really like the character that I was auditioning for, and I guess that sucked me into it, wanting to play Sheenie Saunders.
You get turned on easily? Don't stop, Nick. It's only natural.
Well, I think the most pleasant surprise I've had is the outstanding cast that they've assembled, and I really couldn't ask for a better cast. And I think the two principals, Sheenie and Nick, are just perfect for the roles.
Well, it's a very much of a passion project for Michael Cera, and then Miguel obviously jumped on board, and the two of them spent weeks writing it. So together, they're, you know, guiding the ship.
Miguel is a very warm, very sensitive person, and I think he brings that to his, directing style. he's very specific, but also allows you, you know, the freedom to kind of articulate what you feel about the character and the scene, and he's very collaborative, but he also knows what he wants.
He really values people, and it's really important to him, it seems, that people feel like they're really contributing and not just worthless. You know, I think he really depends on people's input.
They have animation and claymation, which is a very clever way of telling the story and sort of keeping you off kilter all the time.
Miguel cleverly thought about the idea of incorporating animation into the movie.
We wanted to put people in the mindset of Nick and his imagination. So, and also we wanted to find somebody who could animate and have this sort of naughty imagination that Nick has, because I think that's the main thing about Youth and Revolt and this character of Nick.
And what ultimately happened, you know, sometimes that's how good ideas evolve. You know, you got to tighten the budget, so you come up with a creative idea outside the box. And that was one of the things that drove, I think, Miguel towards thinking about the animation component of it, and also the book. There were elements of the book that would have been more difficult to conceive as live action. And so the animation became another component of the movie that I think sets it aside. I think it's one of those things that elevates it, makes it distinctive, it makes it different and original and fresh.
The book, Youth and Revolt, has almost a cult following of young men in particular.
The characters are not like any typical teens you've ever seen. The language they speak, the style of the writing, the tone of it, it's completely unique.
What I hope they get is something they've never gotten before, and I think that's tough to achieve in a movie today because the audience has been there, done that, and I think they're going to see some fresh, original characters. They're going to laugh. They're going to be engaged by this movie. They're going to have a good time.